This is your 1 minute warning. 1 minute warning. If we could ask everybody to take a seat, and we'll be getting going in 1 minute. Always. All right, we do have a proud history of starting these things on time, and all of you have been to enough news conferences that start late. Curling Canada doesn't roll that way. My name is Al Cameron. I am the Director of Communication and Media Relations for Curling Canada, and thrilled to be back in Calgary again. Before we get started, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge that we are gathered on the ancestral and traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, made up of the Siksika, Piikani, the Gunai First Nations, the Ithaca, Stoney, Nakota First Nations, comprised of the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Good Stoney First Nations, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. The City of Calgary is also homeland to the historic Northwest Métis and to the Otipemisiwak Métis Government, Métis Nation Battle River Territory, Nose Hill Métis District 5, and Elbow Métis District 6. So many of you know there's a big announcement about to take place today, and I'm not going to keep you in suspense any longer. I'd like to introduce our Chief Executive Officer and a former World Curling Champion, Nolan Thiessen.
Thanks, Al. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I'll get right to the chase before I thank everybody. We are excited to announce that in March of 2026, right here at the Winsport Event Center, we will be hosting the 2026 BKT Tires World Women's Curling Championships. There's a lot of people to thank, a lot of organizations to thank. A lot of you are in the room here. You know, first of all, our partners from World Curling. We're their largest member association, but you know, the trust that they put in us to be able to run these World Championships is something that we don't take for granted, and we're excited to bring another one here to Calgary. Our title partner, BKT Tires, they sponsor a lot of events across the globe, and to be a part of the World Curling Championship, they increased their partnership with us a couple years ago, and we thank them for their support. Mayor is here. Thank you for the city, and you know, our partners, I seem to call you partners now, from Tourism Calgary. You know, I think this all started in the fall of 2020 with a little Edmonton-Calgary rivalry when Edmonton got the NHL bubble, and then I got a call from Carson soon after that said, "Does curling want to put some stuff on?" And you know, from there it has led to this will be our 12th championship that will be awarded here in Calgary, here at Winsport, since the start of the bubble. So our partners at Tourism Calgary have been amazing, and we're excited to work with them again. Winsport, again, it's turnkey. It seems like we get to, you know, show up. We've got a lot of the same people here, and you do as well. And you know, curling is showing up again, and we're excited to work with everybody there. I'm excited to build out on our partnership with First Nations Health Consortium. You know, we were introduced to them a couple of summers ago up in Edmonton. We did something really cool here at the Scotties, and I think, you know, showing our sport to different communities is going to be super important, and their partnership has been amazing. Curling Alberta, they take on double duty here as not only our member association but also our host committee. They're the crew that they put together to help run these events is first class, and thank you for that. And last but not least, my staff at Curling Canada, the passion that our group has to put on these world-class events is amazing, and it's the reason why I'm excited. I was excited to take the role as CEO, and why I'm excited to work with us, because we have a lot of people that do a lot of hard work and put in a lot of hours for the betterment of the sport, and it'll be happening here again. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Nolan. And yeah, that is great news. And for those of you wondering, March 14th to 22nd, that'll be the dates of the 2026 BKT Tires World Curling Championship. It will be the second time the World Women's Curling Championship has taken place in this building, but this time, thank heavens, we get to have fans in the building. That's going to be freaking awesome. And this is just such a great facility. Many of you who were here during the 2024 Scotties saw up close and personal what Winsport can do as a facility. Barry Heck, the president and CEO of Winsport, sincere thanks to everything you and your team do, and Brittany's here, I believe, as well. Thank you both for everything you guys do to make this event and this facility so welcoming to Curling Canada. Nolan mentioned our partners and friends at World Curling. We're very humbled by their confidence that they show in Canada to host events like this. And I'd like to introduce on a pre-recorded message their president, Mr. Bo Welling.
Hello, I'm Bo Welling, president of World Curling. This is a very exciting day as we're announcing the return of our Women's World Curling Championships to Calgary. It's always so special to go to Calgary. You know, one of Canada's major cities, such a great warm hospitality of the people. We've had a lot of success hosting our events there before, including the Pan-Continental Curling Championships in 2022 and both the men's and women's in 2021. You know, this will be our first event after the Milan Cortina Olympics and Paralympics, and there's no doubt we're going to bring a lot of new fans and interest to our amazing sport. Calgary holds a special place in my heart in that the Winter Olympics in 1988, Calgary hosted the curling's reemergence back into the games as a demonstration sport, and that's where I first got hooked on curling. So I personally can't wait to get back, because this will be a very full circle moment for me. Can't wait, and good curling.
A non-traditional curling accent, you may be wondering, he is from South Carolina. He is just one of the great people in the world of curling. And he's got Tiger Woods' phone number on his cell phone. So he's a player, let me just tell you. Great, great guy. Great friends at World Curling. This event is put out to an open bid across Canada. And we received some very, very compelling bids to host this event. So that speaks highly of what the city of Calgary means, and also the quality of their bid. You know, we look at each one independently, and Calgary's bid did outshine the rest. And a big part of that is the City of Calgary's support. And to bring greetings from the City of Calgary, I'd like to introduce the Mayor, Jyoti Gondek.
Good morning, everybody, and let me also greet you in the mother languages of the Treaty 7 Indigenous peoples, Oki, Dadanastada, Ambawastich, and Tansei. Calgary is ready to welcome the world. It is such an honor to be selected as the 2026 Women's World Curling Championship city, bringing the world's best women curlers to Calgary. And curling is more than just a sport. It's actually kind of a way of life on the Canadian prairies. And I can tell you that my early memories of elementary school at Hazel M. Kellington School in Neepawa, Manitoba, consist of some pretty dedicated teachers going out and putting out boards and then putting down a sheet of ice and marking it up and sending us all home with a little piece of rebar to insert into a jam can and freeze some rocks outside. And we would just look forward to this recess opportunity every day. So, you know what? It's a way of life, and it taught me a lot about teamwork and competition. And frankly, community spirit is something that's synonymous with curling. Whether you have a chance to participate in fun spiels or in corporate events, you get a great chance to throw some rocks, and you also gain an appreciation for how tough this sport actually is. So I'm very excited about everything that this announcement of hosting the Women's World Curling Championship holds for our city. Everything from watching competitors to welcoming visitors to attending community events. This announcement is also just the latest in a series of exciting developments for women's sport in our city. Last year, Calgary hosted the LPGA Women's Open. This year actually, Calgary Wild Football Club will compete in the inaugural Northern Super League, taking on women's soccer teams from across the country. And now, next year, we are set to host Women's World Curling Championships. These events highlight the incredible achievements of women in sport and the growing opportunities that we have in our city and our nation for female athletes. From the golf course to the soccer pitch to the curling rink, women are making their mark. And the Women's World Curling Championship will further showcase the talent, competition and skill levels that we see in girls and women across the world. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Tourism Calgary, to Curling Canada, to Curling Alberta, as well as Winsport, for everything that you have done to bring this to our city. Your unwavering support and your dedication made this happen. And I'm confident that we will deliver an unforgettable experience for athletes, fans, and for our community. So as we look forward to 2026, let us celebrate the power of sport and the way that it can unite us. Thank you, and back over to you, Al.
Okay, that goes into the top 10 of mayoral speeches that we've done at these events. Mainly Neepawa. That is freaking awesome. Nolan Thiessen grew up in Pilot Mound. You in Neepawa, these Manitoba curling roots run deep here. That's pretty awesome. A lot of you will want to know a couple things about tickets. First of all, this isn't the next curling event here at Winsport, as many of you will know. In September, late September, we'll be hosting the PointsBet Invitational right out there. And that'll be followed, of course, by the BKT Tires World Women's Curling Championship. There will be ticket launches for both of those events coming in the next couple weeks, as well as volunteer drives starting in the next couple weeks. So we encourage people to sign up for the Curling Canada Collective to be aware of those things, but we will also be making some announcements regarding the ticket package launches for both of those events. Our title sponsor, BKT Tires, it's really an amazing sponsor in that you might not have heard of them in Canada, but it's a big, big company. And the fact that they have such confidence in our organization as well as this event speaks to what they believe about the sport of curling. And to speak more about that, I'd like to introduce on a recorded message, Lucia Salmaso, the Managing Director of BKT Europe.
Hi Calgary, Lucia Salmaso here, Managing Director of BKT Europe. Only 1 year ago, in an event like this, I proudly announced our partnership as the title sponsor for the 3 upcoming editions of the World Curling Championships in Canada. Last year, at the BKT Women's Curling Championship, we were so amazed by the ability, the attention, and the concentration shown by the athletes in this unique sport. And the fans were amazing too. We love the heat and the passion with which they support the national team. We can't wait to meet you at the BKT Men's World Curling Championship in Moose Jaw in just over a month. We will be together again, sharing our enthusiasm for curling, having fun with engaging activities that have been defining the presence of BKT tires in sports. Then it will be time again to welcome the world to the BKT 2026 Women's Curling Championship in Calgary. BKT will once again be at your side, in each shot, in each sweep, in each scream of joy or disappointment, until the final game, the one that will crown one nation as the world champion. Once more, let's leave another mark in curling history and make this tournament unforgettable. From all of us at BKT, thank you and enjoy these memorable times.
We've talked about some of the past events, and obviously there's a bunch of events that predate the bubble events here in Calgary. There's been Briars here, there's been the Scotties, and it's just a city that knows how to get things done. But in recent years, it really has been our partnership with Tourism Calgary that has made such an impact on us as an organization. And, you know, I was going to introduce him straight up, but I do have to say something. Carson, the socks today, on point. Now, that said, Mayor Gondek, your socks as well, spectacular, so we might have to have a sock comparison here, but at any rate, Carson Ackroyd, I'd like to introduce him to say some few words on behalf of Tourism Calgary.
Thanks very much, Al, and it is an incredible pleasure to be here today. It is such an exciting day for Calgary and for our team to be here for this announcement. I would say, just to start off, the role of Tourism Calgary is to go out and try and attract major events to this city and get to show off our incredible city in so many different ways. But we can't do any of that work without having partners. We are one part of the puzzle. And that puzzle, when it comes to major sporting events, has so many different great groups. And I'd like to start by thanking Curling Alberta. They have been an incredible partner to help with so many different events. And their reach into all of the curling clubs locally across Calgary, and being a member of one myself, many of the people that I curl with and against have been volunteers over the last number of years. The local curling clubs in Calgary have also stepped up, with the leadership of Curling Alberta to support us being able to host these amazing events. WinSport is ongoing as an incredible partner to host many major events in Calgary, and I can't thank Barry and John and Brittany enough for all of the incredible support that they provide. But then on top of that, the city of Calgary, and we would not be able to do the work we do without the support of the city of Calgary believing in investing in our visitor economy, and the mayor being here to support this today is a strong indication of just how important this is to the city. So we thank the city for that. But on top of all of that is that we have to build true partnerships, and our partnership with Curling Canada has really been quite extensive. And working with Nolan in those years in the pandemic to get the bubble off the ground, and Nolan becoming a health expert and writing protocols. He could have gone a completely different road and becoming a health administrator after what he went through, but I'm glad he decided to stay in curling. They have an incredible team, and certainly the events that we've been able to hold have been fantastic, and many of them, including last year's Scotties, where Calgarians got to enjoy the swan song for Jennifer Jones. And what an incredible event that was, and how many Calgarians got behind that, and to also see, obviously, Rachel Homan step up and then go on to be the world champion. So we are so excited to see that. And these events have a significant impact. We expect $11.5 million in economic impact from this event coming in March at a slower visitation time for Calgary. So this is a fantastic piece of business to come to the market from that perspective, because we have 1,100 businesses at Tourism Calgary that support the visitor economy. And this makes a big difference to support those local businesses. And then on top of that, it creates incredible vibrancy. As most of you know, Calgary is growing at an incredible pace, and we want to be a city that has amazing things going on for people to enjoy, not only for visitors, but for new residents that have come to Calgary and ones who might want to move back, as we were talking to Nolan about earlier. So in addition to that, these events have an impact on the legacy of sport in this market, and we're working with Curling Alberta and the First Nations Health Consortium on an incredibly important project that we think will have a lasting impact on our community coming as part of this program, and we'll be talking more about that as we go forward. So I'll just close by saying 2026 is going to be an incredible year in Calgary. You're going to be able to see the Olympics, where so many athletes train here in Calgary. You'll see curling on the forefront of the Olympic coverage, and then you'll be able to see those same teams right here in Calgary in 2026, and all those visitors can then come back for Stampede and then for Grey Cup in 2026. It'll be an amazing year to drive visitation. So look forward to everybody coming back in 2026, and thank you very much.
Carson, your words just reminded me why I lived here for 20 years, as many of you remember, and I have such fond memories, and what a sports city this place is, and those words reminded me just how special this is and how much I'm looking forward to coming back, not only in September for the points bet, but also again for the BKT Tires World Championship. I'm glad you touched on our friends at Curling Alberta. You talk about progressive member associations in Curling Canada's partnerships, and Curling Alberta certainly fits that description, and they prove it on an ongoing basis with all the things they do to develop this sport. Obviously in the province of Alberta, but they're so collaborative to work with in terms of building our sport at all levels across Canada. And I'd like to introduce their president, Gord Coppathorne, to bring greetings.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gord, here on behalf of Curling Alberta. Jill, our CEO, so we're named, gave me this beautiful speech, and I'm terrible at following speeches. So I'll take the premise of it. Curling Alberta is immensely grateful to all of the partners and contributors to bringing something like this into Calgary and putting on the 2026 BKT Tires Women's World Curling Championship. First off, I will echo the support for BKT tires. As Curling Canada, Alberta, and a curler myself, you can't watch a global event anymore and not expect a BKT tires commercial. You sit in the stands and you expect to see the animated tire rolling across the sideboards. And that's indicative of a great opportunity, a great collaboration. It is that symbiotic relationship that makes these things thrive and people connect happy feelings. So thank you to BKT Tires for your continued support. Secondly, I'll go into the province of Alberta, the city of Calgary, and Calgary tourism. We've heard several people say how important it is for you to actively invite us in, to actively be part of this process. Our goal in Curling Alberta is to help clubs thrive, help clubs find members, help opportunities come for juniors, adults, seniors, it doesn't matter. These events drive those opportunities. The awareness it builds, the little kids seeing it and then going, hey, I want to try that curling thing. None of that happens without you first opening your doors and bringing us into the community. It helps your economy, it helps our membership, and everybody thrives for it. So thank you very much for inviting us in. After that's the local pieces themselves. There's the organizing committees, there's WinSport, there's clubs in the community asking how they can help, there's individual volunteers. They may not even be part of a club yet. Those people are ultimately what makes this engine turn, or if I might make a terrible pun, makes the wheel turn. Ah, BKT, there you go. Excellent. These are hard to do, and we love running them, but thank you to the entire community that backs it in the greater Calgary area. For Curling Alberta, this championship is a catalyst for excitement and activity across the region, showcasing the power of the sport and uniting our community. We can't wait to see the world's best come back into our city, recognize what this region has to offer, mountains, tourism, friendship. So we wish everybody that comes in to be part of the 2026 BKT World Women's Curling Championship the greatest of success and the hope that you enjoy your time here. So thank you on behalf of Curling Alberta.
I'm going to say some of the sweetest words media people can hear. We're ahead of schedule. Yeah, in fact, we're about to wrap things up here. I want to acknowledge a gentleman who is here with us today whose job over the next 14 months getting ready for this event will have Calgary in his spotlight. Mr. David Murdoch, our Director of High Performance, is here with us today. He made the drive up from Okotoks. Thanks for being with us, David. I also wanted to acknowledge again the Government of Alberta and the Honourable Joseph Scow, the Minister of Tourism and Sport, for their support for today's announcement and for the next 14 months leading to the 2026 BKT Tires World Curling Championship. Many of you who were here for the Scotties and other Canadian Championship events, one of the unique things about those is there's a lot of teams out there you can cheer for, right? Many of you have Manitoba roots, or you're going to cheer for Saskatchewan. Alberta, come on. But the BKT Tires World Curling Championship is special because, let's face it, there's going to be 13 teams here, but who are you going to cheer for? Let's face it. So let's get started on a practice session for what you're going to be saying in 2026. Go, Canada, go. Go, Canada, go. Go, Canada, go. That's the way. I want to hear that loud and proud in 2026. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Our speakers are available for scrums if anybody would like to talk to anybody, but really appreciate. Help yourself to sandwiches, and we've got coffee at the back. Thanks again, everyone.